Good morning.
Good morning.
Perhaps one of the most well-known anthems of the late, great Tina Turner is, "What's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion?" So my question for us this morning is, what's love got to do with the Bible? What's love really got to do with the story of God, humanity, and creation as recorded in Scripture? Now, if you think Adam and Eve are the first two people in the Bible to love each other, you would be wrong. There is no mention in Genesis about Adam and Eve loving each other. It's not until what we read today in chapter 24, well into the story of Genesis, with the marriage of Rebekah to Isaac, that we have the first record in Scripture of love entering into the sphere of human relationships. Isaac took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. But the Song of Songs more than compensates for the absence of love in Genesis. Also known as the Song of Solomon, this lavish poem provides us with the most fulsome, sensual, and sublime depiction of love between two people that exist in the Bible and maybe in all of Western literature. Traditionally read during wedding services, the ideal of human love that it captures is as resonant now to us as it was thousands of years ago. The origins of this supreme song are mysterious. Fragments of ancient Hebrew love poetry from oral traditions, shards of ancient marriage liturgies, who knows? What we do know is that the text lyrically depicts an erotic, playful, and passionate dialogue between two young, unmarried people frolicking about in the bower of a verdant, bucolic springtime. Now, many consider the Song of Songs a strange anomaly that inexplicably snuck into the canon of Scripture. And it really is a mystery. How did it get in there? I like to think of it as the Bible's best kept and most subversive secret that reveals and explores the divine human experience of being loved and loving, and how such active mutual love transforms the entire world around us. The Song of Songs is an Eden reboot. Without the talking serpent, the apple, the she said, he said, shame, blame game, the cursing, and the exile. Old Testament scholar Ellen Davis says it in this way: the Song of Songs captures the all-encompassing harmony that was shattered by the original rupture in God's plan for the created order. She goes on to say, that original rupture is the ancient wound that the song seeks to heal. The voices of the lovers are the voices of reconciliation. They share with each other and with every reader a dream of a world restored to the state of wholeness, with reciprocity and intimacy at three levels: between woman and woman, or person to person, between humanity and creation, and between humans and God. If original sin is rupture with and separation from God and others, we find no trace of it here in the Song of Songs. Instead, we discover two lovers indistinguishable from each other, and the pristine orchards, gardens, and vineyards in which they dwell, living in interconnected bonds of sacred unity. So I want you to kind of close your eyes and listen to a few of the stanzas of this poetry. Receive it. The woman says, "As you are beautiful, my beloved, truly lovely. Our couch is green, the beams of our house are cedar, our rafters are pine. I am a rose of Sharon, a lily of the valley. As a lily among the brambles, so is my love among maidens. As an apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among young men. With great delight I sat in his shadow, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. He brought me to the banqueting house, and his intention toward me was love." She then imagines her lover as a gazelle or a young stag who beckons to her. "Arise, my love, my fair one, and come away. For now the winter is past, the rain is over and gone, the flowers appear on the earth, the time of singing has come, and the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land." And later, the young lover says this, "Your limbs are an orchard of pomegranates and all luscious fruits, of henna and of nard and saffron, fragrant reed and cinnamon, with all aromatic woods. You are a garden spring, a well of fresh water." You can open your eyes now. It gets even more steamy, trust me, but you get the picture. Go home and read it on your own tonight. The metaphors are so deliciously ambiguous that they suggest the lovers both delight in the garden and are the very garden itself. That's what good poetry does, right? Their identities are fluid, free, transcending any rigid, fixed, or binary categories of sex and gender. In this paradise, there is no other. There are no isms. There's no hierarchy or power structures that dominate, divide, and exploit people and nature. Nothing is utilitarian. Nothing is contested. Nothing is transactional. Here, there is no violence. There are no guns. There are no destructive heat waves. There are no fires, no wars, no pandemics. The lion has laid down with the lamb. I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. In the divine economy of the song, all is given. All is enough. All is mutually and freely shared for the flourishing of all life. It is an Easter vision of the new creation, where we have recovered our original wholeness and relationship to God, each other, and the world through the redeeming and liberating power of love. Now, I know a lot of you know that in ancient Greece, there were 3 different words for love that all had distinct meanings. So you have the category of eros, romantic and passionate love, and then phileo, which is deep bonds of affection or friendship, known as brotherly love. And then you've got agape love, right? Agape love is the divine, self-giving, universal love. Now, the Jewish and Christian traditions have done their best to domesticate the explicit erotic and sexual nature of the Song of Songs by interpreting it as an allegory of God's love for Israel and Christ's love for the church. And make no mistake, such divine love is pure, it's chaste, it's spiritual, agape love, and must in no way be mistaken for the lusty, salacious eros, possibly inferred from the song. But let's push back on this. The song was written in ancient Hebrew, where, like in English, there is just one word for love. Ahava. Ahava. This one big, elastic, multivalent word for love that seems far closer to the infinite and wondrous mystery of love intended by the author of the songs. I mean, isn't God's love in all of the above love that defies category? Eros, phileo, and agape love all mashed up to be a sum far greater than its parts. And who is to say that Christ's love for the church isn't about bodily desire, delight, and passion? Throughout the Hebrew scriptures in the New Testament, God is depicted as loving Israel as a husband loves a wife. And Jesus is portrayed as the bridegroom and the church his bride. After all, Jesus is the Word made flesh come to dwell among us. You can't have flesh without having eros, people. And Jesus must then desire us like a lover. And like every lover, Jesus knows heartbreak. Jesus comes to us knowing that we all have suffered loss, loneliness, exile, of broken relationships at various points in our lives that has led us to feel cast off, beyond repair, unworthy, wondering, what's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? And Jesus knows this is a dangerous question that leads us to harden our hearts, becoming bitter, turning against God and each other, leading to the further rupturing of our relationships with the world around us. Like Paul, wrestling with our demons, crying out, I do not understand my own actions, for I do not do what I want, but I do the very thing I hate. I've been there many times. I bet you have too. Jesus, our lover, opens another way. Come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Jesus comes to heal the original rupture of our relationship with God, others, and creation with his agape, phileo, and yes, his passionate, incarnate eros love. In his broken body and blood spilled out, Jesus invites us, like the lover from Song of Songs, into an intimate relationship of body, mind, and spirit to restore us to our original wholeness in loving union with God, self, planet, and neighbor. Writer Bill Hooks says, love allows us to enter paradise. Love allows us to enter paradise. And it is Jesus who shows us the way of love. We who are weary and carrying heavy burdens, yoked in love to the living Christ as one body, Jesus desires nothing more than for us to enter into this paradise, this new creation, Easter in Eden, where all is given, all is enough, all is freely shared, and all bloom, bear fruit, and flourish in and through relationships. So, what's love got to do with it? Everything. So what are we waiting for? What's stopping us? What is blocking us from following Jesus into this paradise today, right here and right now? The great invitation stands wide open right here at this table. Come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Arise, my love, my fair one, and come away. For now the winter is past, the rains are over and gone, the flowers appear on the earth, the time of singing has come. Let's go.